If I could have your attention, please. Thank you very much. Call the meeting to order. Ms. Whitby, if you'll call the roll.
Yes, sir. Ross?
Here.
White?
Here.
Taylor?
Here.
Robinson?
Here.
Baxter?
Here.
Harris?
Here.
Height?
Here.
And Witcher?
Present.
A quorum is present, sir.
I invite you to stand as Alderman Ross will lead us in a prayer and pledge.
Let's bow our heads, please. Our Heavenly Father, we ask that you please be with our new president. Help him to make decisions that improve the lives of all Americans. Also, please help everyone to keep an open mind and heart, to be compassionate, kind, and loving to one another. Please help us not to ruin today, worrying about tomorrow, and to know that you have a plan that's bigger than all of us. Thank you for always watching over us. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So moved. Second.
On the motion.
On the motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting, Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
And Witcher?
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Whitby. Communications, I'm showing 1 through 4.
We actually have a fifth one that was added late.
All right. What is it? Do I have it?
It is from City Attorney Carter. regarding
Okay, I did
counsel.
see that.
Okay.
All right, anybody want to pull any of those?
Move to accept 1 through 5.
About a second.
Second.
I would, 5 is the one, the memorandum, is this what?
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah, I would like to have that one just for discussion.
Okay. Let's do 1 through 4.
Fine.
On the motion.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
And Witcher?
Yes.
And number 5, did you want City Attorney Carter to?
You want him to read it or summarize?
No, he doesn't have to read it all, just, if he can just kind of explain, I know there's a few corrections that need to be made or updates.
Sure. We can touch on this pretty quickly. This is one of the things that we talked about at our last meeting. It's always important to review our procedures. These are procedures not described in state law, but the ones that we established for managing our own city council processes. I've got them. I tried to consolidate it down to one page, front and back, where you can kind of see what the rules are. So extra words have been taken out of this, and it's just simplified down into layman language, and I'll just kind of run through this pretty quickly. The important thing to know is that these are your rules. If there's something about your rules that you don't like, you can change your rules. That's the power that the City Council wields. Our regular meetings are still scheduled for 6 p.m. twice a month on the second and fourth Monday. We can call special meetings, as the way the rule stands right now is either the mayor or 3 aldermen in accordance with state law. Hand delivery of a special call is 24 hours. Electronic delivery is 72 hours. Any person is allowed to waive notice. We follow the procedural rules for municipal officials. In a practical standpoint, we have relaxed rules of procedures that are intended for efficiency and fairness. We rank seniority by however long you've been on city council, which is not good for Alderman Harris. But according to the seats that you sit in, seniority gets to choose the seat that you want, and that's also how we choose rotation for President Pro Tem. The mayor maintains a rotational list where we change seats every 6 months for who serves as President Pro Tem. And when your 6 months is up, then you're in the seat. When the mayor leaves town, you act as the mayor. We've got the kind of the format for our council agendas. Everybody's familiar with that, about how we do those. All business resolutions and ordinances have to be sponsored. One of you sitting on this council has to sponsor something for it to be considered for a vote. Interestingly, one of the recommended changes that I have is that currently in our rules, if you sponsor a piece of legislation, you are the only person who can call that piece of legislation. Now, and the only exception to that would be the mayor can designate somebody else to call a piece of legislation for him. From a practical standpoint, I don't think that we've done that. I think that we've said, tell your seatmate or someone to call a piece of legislation for you, and that's been acceptable to the body. So I'd encourage you to think about, whether or not we want to make a change down that line just to reflect our actual practice. All drafts of ordinances and resolution have to show who drafted it. Requests are supposed to be to my office Thursday at noon. The hit rate on that's a little marginal. And then we have public comments. I know Alderman Ross had a comment about that, we have 2 public comment periods on agenda items. You have to sign up before the meeting. I guess you have to sign up before the meeting for any public comment. But you sign up before the meeting to speak either on agenda items, which occurs before we vote on business, or afterwards for any public matter. On the reverse page, we have how meetings are conducted, how we open meetings just as we did with an invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. And we talk about, the special considerations that we have around those things. We have communications. Communications are the way that we put permanent documents into the city clerk's records. Any elected official can submit it, but it's up to the vote of the council as to whether or not it will go into the permanent records of the city. Then we'll have public comment on agenda items. There are rules about that, primarily a 3-minute limit, and we talk specifically about items on the agenda. Our ordinances and resolutions, according to their filing deadline, which are properly submitted to the council, have to be voted on by roll call, except you'll see on the sub B how we've adopted a consent agenda process. The way that consent agenda is voted for is by unanimous approval by a voice vote, because anyone who objects to that can have it withdrawn from the consent agenda. We waive reading requirements. You can do that in part or in whole. Please note the removal of things from the agenda. 90 days or 6 regular meetings, whichever comes first, the city clerk would administratively remove matters from the agenda. And then at the end, we have public comments for non-agenda items. So I did have some recommended changes, 3 recommended changes I'd ask the council to consider. We can do it at this meeting. We can do it at a subsequent meeting, as whatever you choose. One would be to change our filing deadline, to make the filing deadline slide whenever city council meeting slides. And then the same with how we would move the request for legislation. So that would alleviate some problems when we've got filing deadline on Tuesday and a holiday on Monday. It makes things a little harder. And then to change the rules I mentioned earlier about how sponsors and co-sponsors or someone designated on their behalf could present legislation to City Council. So those would be my recommendations to consider, and anything else that you would like to discuss.
Does this need to be a part of legislation? I mean, will we introduce legislation next time?
If there was, and honestly, probably the best way to manage this, Mayor, is a communication to City Council. If anyone, likes the sounds of any of those changes, let me know, and we'll prepare the legislation for the next meeting to make sure that it's clean. And then I'd make a new one-pager, so you'd have it in your hip pocket. I know you'll carry it with you wherever you go.
Absolutely.
And
We will accept and file.
Question?
I just had one comment, and I did speak to Mr. Carter about this. Under public comments, when it says on agenda items are restricted to those persons who sign up to speak, except for public hearings. And I know that we're trying to condense this, but if we could restrict the persons who sign up prior to the meeting, just to make that clear so that there's no misunderstanding.
that is accurate. I'd reduce that for the sake of brevity, but that is an accurate statement. Yeah.
And on that, do we need to clarify, it has come up recently that someone wants to sign in prior to the meeting, not here at the meeting, but like earlier in the day, or have someone else sign them in. And I said, no, that's not the way it works. You have to be here and sign in before this meeting is convened.
And in the rules that have been adopted say that the city clerk, with her great wisdom, will establish procedures, for signing up and record keeping. So I think that would be within your discretion.
The newbie appreciates this.
I backed you on that one. Don't look at me that way.
Move to strike the great wisdom phrase.
Oh, I got a motion and a second. I haven't had a chance to study this. I will between now and next filing deadline if there's anything I want to tweak on it. So, on the motion.
Ross?
So we're just filing this, and you're going to come back with another one to replace this one at the next meeting? Or do we need to even file this one?
Well, I would expect, based on this feedback, that I want to see first if I'm going to get any recommendations or requests for changes, make legislation, and I'll amend it from there.
Okay, yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
And Witcher?
Yes.
Thank you very much. We have some special people here tonight, very special people, and I want to take a minute to ask for all of our Elite Stars cheer team. Stand up, girls, and let everybody see ya. The Jeannie's coming up here with Parks and Rec. Girls, y'all start working your way up here, and I'll meet you down there. And Jeannie's going to tell us a little bit about this group and why they're so special.
Everyone can see. Yes, this is one of our teams of our elite cheer stars representing North Little Rock Parks and Recreation. This is our competitive cheer squad that we've had for the last 4 years. And we were really excited for this upcoming weekend because they have an opportunity to compete at the Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders National
Yay.
Cheerleading Competition. Country at the AT&T Stadium with all the cheerleaders and everybody there. So it's going to be an exciting time. They're going to actually compete on the field. So it is going to be really exciting opportunity for them. They've been working really hard, and we just can't wait.
Well,
but yeah.
One
go
thing
ahead.
about this group, Jeannie, is they have earned 15 first-place trophies in the last 2 years. Is that right?
Yes. Yes. And let me add, over 5 overall Grand Recreation Championships in cheerleading as well.
This is a very special team, and I talked to them earlier in my office this afternoon and told them how proud we all were of them and reminded them that they were representing the entire city of North Little Rock down in Dallas and that we were all rooting for them and proud that they were representing us. So, girls, again, thank you very much. All the people at home are watching us on TV right now. You want to wave? All right, thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
You know, we get to do this twice a year, and in the last 2 weeks, we have hosted some very special people from our sister city in Uwang, South Korea. And they are here. Margaret and Mr. Ham are going to come, and let me introduce and invite all of our new Wildcats to come on up.
All right.
Come on up.
Okay, I don't know if they've learned a Wildcat cheer or anything, so we won't make them do that, but City Mayor and City Council, thanks again for the opportunity to bring these wonderful young people to the forefront. They have been here for 2 weeks. They're in school. They are loving school, probably again setting the curve. I want to just thank the school district again. They have put together a wonderful program of mentors and have scheduled them into classes that they seem to be loving. And so they're really happy in our school here and happy with the host family. So I want to introduce my counterpart, Mr. Ham. If there's anybody in here that doesn't know him, he has been with us for 6 years now. He's been coming with the Sister City program both in the summer and the winter. We have 2 programs. And so I want to give Mr. Ham a chance to say something to the City Council and to the mayor. So, Mr. Hahn, we're so thrilled to have you back. Welcome.
Oh, thank you so much.
All right. Come, you want to? Yeah, yeah.
This letter is our Uiwang City Mayor letter. I have a letter to share with you from the Mayor of Uiwang. Dear Mayor Joe Smith, I am Kim Sung-jae, Mayor of Uiwang in the Republic of Korea. Since the beginning of the sisterhood relationship in 2000, Uiwang and North Little Rock have continued the news exchange programs for 16 years with mutual understanding and cooperation. Last year, the students from your city visited Korea and had delightful and precious memories with the families of Uiwang. I remember the students of both cities united in a talent show at the farewell ceremony. It was very impressive to see that the exchange programs present a lot of joy and hope to the students and the citizens of both cities. I hope these touching moments continue forever. In January 2017, 10 students of Uiwang will stay in the families of North Little Rock for 4 weeks and study English. I would like to express my sincere appreciation to Mayor Joe Smith, North Little Rock City Council, North Little Rock School District, and Margaret Powell, Director of External Relations, for providing such a wonderful training program to my students during the busiest time of the year. Above all, my special thanks go to the citizens of North Little Rock for their support as the host families. Respected Mayor, I thank you for your interest and encouragement of the program. Despite a short 1-month program, our Uiwang students have had a great experience in American culture and learned a lot in their new and safe surrounding. I hope that you and all the families of North Little Rock enjoy the hopeful energy of the new year 2017 and blessings from heaven. I am looking forward to meeting you in the nearest future. Thank you. Sincerely, Kim Sung-jae, Mayor of Uiwang, Republic of Korea.
Thank you, Mr. Hom.
This program has been amazing. For the last 16 years, we've had the summer program, and this is the 6th year for our winter program. And it wouldn't be possible, number one, without your support, Mayor, and the City Council, and the host families. And so I want to just take a quick opportunity. I don't think they're all here, but I want to call their names, and if you're here, please stand up. Laurie and Gil Chung, they're keeping 2 of our boys. Amy and Eric Lancaster, and Luke. Melanie, the Melanie Mann family. Anna Marie, are you here? Yes, and yes, both of you. Yeah. Van and Kristen Milton family, and Kristen is here, and Savannah is a kicker for the football team, and she's hosting, but she's busy playing soccer, so she couldn't be here, but thank you, Kristen, for your hosting. Melanie and Chris Shelton, and the Shelton girls, Molly and Savannah, they're keeping one of our girls. Thank you, guys. John, Marilyn, and Camden Riley. Marilyn's here. Thank you, Marilyn. Marilyn's keeping one of our boys and is actually keeping the chaperone and his son. Carla and Stan Wisnat, they are as you probably know, teachers and vice principal at the high school, and they are keeping 2 of the girls, and we thank you all so much for that. They're also working on a video and working on a picture program for us. And then Brooks Wiggins' family and Grace, are you all here? There's Grace, okay, good. So everybody's busy. This is a busy time of the year, and I especially want to thank the host families for creating time in their schedule to open their homes and their hearts to these kids. That's about all I have to say, except there are 2 of the young people who wanted to say something really quick. So the 2 of you who want to come forward?
Yep, go.
Okay. Okay, you gonna come forward? You gonna come? All right, go ahead, introduce yourself and...
Hello, Mayor. My Korean name is Jo Kyung-chan, and my English name is Timothy Cho. And I'd like to thank you for giving us the opportunity to experience high school life of North Little Rock High School. I love this city because my host family treated me as like a family, and they love me and care for me. And I thank you for experience for new, interesting, and creative school life for me. Thank you for inviting us and giving a wonderful program for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Timothy.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kawan Kim, and first of all, thank you for greeting us when we came here. We stayed here for only 2 weeks, but we learned a lot of things. We learned about here's culture, people, and food. It was amazing. I think it'll be great experience to all of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else, any parents, host parents, want to take any pictures real quick while we're here? Marilyn, go and...
Y'all come on up if you want to take some pictures. Okay, Jim, can you get a picture of this fine-looking group?
We already got that.
Mr. Hahn, why don't you come join the kids, okay? Come on and join the kids.
Okay, everybody smile. Go Wildcats. Okay, thank you all very much. We're so proud of you. Okay. And I, too, want to echo what Margaret said about our host families, and we couldn't make it without you, so thank you very much. Okay. We're not through yet. We have more special guests. Our Christmas parade this year in December was postponed because of weather, and we had it the following week, and it was a little smaller than normal, but the quality was there, no doubt. Sherry Bruno, of course, has been our chair for how many years, Sherry? 6, and has always done a wonderful job. So are you coming up, and we're going to present these? Amy? Come here, let me get you a seat. Here, Jason, let Amy sit down right there, will you? You helping Alderman?
I got Vanna's assistant.
Okay. Okay, all right. All right, what we're going to do now is, these are the winners, the different categories, and if you're here when they call your name, please come up. We'll get a quick picture for everybody. If there's anybody here in the crowd that wants to, feel free to move around, take pictures. It's okay. Okay? Okay, Charlie.
Okay, our first award, for the Christmas parade goes for the Mayor's Cup, and that went to entry number 48, Let It Snow, EMOBA.
Are they
Let
here?
It Snow. Anybody here for Let It Snow?
Okay, thank you. We'll go on to the next one.
All right. The second one is our Chairman's Choice, and that goes to entry number 50, The Plane Train.
The plane
The
train.
plane
There they
train.
are.
Not to be confused.
Did you do it all by yourself? with them.
She's the one beauty with all the beasts.
Yeah. How are you?
All right.
Here, you want to hold that?
Yeah.
All right, get right in the middle. We get the pretty ones in the middle. Okay, ready? Okay, we're ready. Smile.
Pretty slow. Yeah. Okay.
Wait a second. McDowell needs to get in. Good. Thank y'all very much. Thanks for participating. We appreciate it. Good.
That's right. What I was doing. Is that, move it to that.
Okay, our next award goes for the best Girl Scout float, and that was Girl Scout number 6096 and number 6066. Is that right?
6566. Girl Scouts, are y'all here?
Girl Scouts.
I see them.
All right.
Okay, who gets to hold that first one up? Okay, y'all all get in a semicircle. Were any of y'all with me eating cookies Sunday? Didn't we have fun?
Back over here and you stay over here.
Okay, let's all smile.
We'll see some older,
My Lord.
goofy aldermen in the background.
You think your
Okay, parents,
tiny head
wait a second.
affect the picture?
Are we good? One more? Okay. Thank y'all for participating. We'll see y'all next year, okay?
Did they bring any cookies, Amy?
All
I
right,
have the
our
order
next
form. I will deliver
award.
tomorrow.
Hold on, Charlie. What'd you say?
I have my cookie order form. It will be sent to City Hall tomorrow.
I told them Sunday, there was a whole bunch of them, maybe 100 of them, and I told them it was a kickoff for the cookie sale, and I was trying to encourage them to get out and sell, and of course all of them were, trying to get my name and phone number, and I said, in my lifetime, I bet I've bought 1 million boxes of cookies, and half that million's from Amy.
You had to go through Amy's office to get to your office.
I
for
told
several
anybody, if you want to
years.
sell me something, get Amy's approval first.
Right. Okay. Our next award goes for the best beauty entry, and that was entry number 10, the Arkansas State Fair Queen. Is she here tonight?
Congratulations, she was a pretty thing.
Okay. All right. Our next award, is the best club entry, entry number 28, the North Little Rock Lions Club. North Little Rock Lions Club.
Lions Club, I see none.
Okay. Okay, the next one goes for the Best Boy Scout Award, and that goes for entry number 55, Troop 87 of the Boy Scouts. Troop 87. Anybody here?
Yeah, there's Troop 87. Congratulations. Good job with that.
I think they historically, Mayor Troop has Santa on their entry.
Thank y'all for carrying Santa. Makes it very special.
Okay, our next one goes for the best decorated commercial or business entry, and that's number 42, the Razorback Concrete Twinkle Truck. Razorback Concrete Twinkle Truck.
Don't see them. Okay.
We'll see if they get theirs. Okay, the next is for the Sertoma Chairman Award, number 8, the Elks Lodge. Elks Lodge. All right.
Johnny, how are you? Oh, what a pretty hair. Both of my granddaughters have hair just like yours. You want to hold that?
Hit it that way, not over this way.
Okay. Thanks, y'all. Elks Club. Appreciate you. Okay, Johnny. Good to see you.
Okay, our next award goes for the best dance performing, and that was entry number 14, the Golden Royalty Dance.
There
Golden
they are.
Royalty Dance.
Golden Royalty Dance Team.
Dance Team. Golden Royalty Dance Team.
You want to hold that?
Watching the TV. Is that what's seen? Yes. That's the, but it's a delay. But I know, but that's the picture that's going out.
Good? Okay, thank you all very much for participating.
I guess.
Okay, our next award is for the best fire truck, and that goes to entry number 17, the Scimitars. Scimitars, that Shrine Church Cemetery?
Shriners? Yeah, they're usually here.
Nobody here from Scimitar, okay. The best marching group is our next award, and that goes to the North Little Rock High School ROTC Color Guard. Anybody here from, all right.
Yeah. Congratulations. Y'all did so good. Turn around. Thank you very much. Good job.
And our final award tonight goes for the Sertoma President Award, and that goes to entry number 12, the Man Magnet Middle School. Man Magnet Middle School. Oh, you're going to take a picture?
Okay, who's going to hold it? Good job, everybody. Y'all squeeze in. We don't want to leave anybody out. We'll take our time as parents, so y'all all stay right here until everybody gets a picture made, okay?
Good afternoon. My name is Deja Johnson, the 2016 through 2017 Student Council President. On behalf of Student Council, our advisor, Ms. Green, Horseman Magnet Arts and Science Middle School, and our principal, Mr. McGee, we would like to say thank you in acceptance of this award.
Thank you. You want to come get in the picture with us? Sure. Anybody wings? How are you, sir? Okay. All right, y'all turn around and look pretty. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you all very much.
Mayor, that concludes our award ceremony, and on behalf of the Sertoma, North Little Rock Sertoma Club, I'd like to say thank you for your participation, and thank you to everybody that participated this year, and we look
Absolutely.
forward to the 2017 parade.
Let's have a voice vote right now that all those in favor of doubling Sherry's pay next year, say aye. Aye. So you're doubled. Thank you, Sherry. It wouldn't be the same without you. We do appreciate it.
Well, you do know Sherry works for the city, so you better be clear on which pay you're doubling.
Yeah, there's Karen. She's having a heart attack right now. Hi, Lee. Okay. Now, not on your agenda that I had to throw in today. Back up here and sit down and turn this mic off. Okay. Every year we always have a bunch of things to sign for the Housing Authority, and this year is no different. And as I was looking through things and asking my normal questions, Belinda Snow, Belinda, if you'll start working your way up this way. We were going over some projects that her commission had approved, and we're preparing to send it to HUD. And I was not concerned, but I know that over the years, especially in the last 4 since I've been mayor, that we kind of all had an agreement that we weren't going to do any more tax credit apartments. which we haven't, if my memory serves me correctly. We haven't done that. This particular proposal that the Housing Authority is making to do for their high-rises has that mentioned in numerous places. And so it made me not nervous, because I know where Belinda's heading with this, but it made me aware that we needed to have a summary done for all of us before I sign this and send it on to the Housing Authority in Washington. So, Belinda, if you will, give us an executive summary of what you're proposing and let them ask some questions.
Sure. Thank you, Mayor, for allowing me the opportunity to come in and present the information to the council. What the mayor has before him this week is a little different than what we've done in the past. In the past, we've sent information that strictly relates to our annual capital fund. That's the money that we apply for, and HUD provides for us to take care of those large items that we need to take care of. The problem with that, though, is that it's typically about $1 million a year, and that $1 million has to be divided between our 8 sites, and it's hardly enough to take care of the issues that we have in those old buildings that were built between the mid-40s and the mid-80s. So a few years back, HUD created an opportunity for us to be able to apply for additional funding to take care of those needs, and it's called the Rental Assistant Demonstration Program, or RAD. Now, what that does is, under the normal circumstances, you can't use HUD subsidies for the public housing developments. You can't use the rents or the public housing to leverage money, to borrow money to fix those facilities. Under the RAD program, you can do that, because what they do is they change it or convert it to what's called the Section 8 funds. The banks and investors will let you, or look forward to, working with housing authorities who have enough of those vouchers or Section 8 funds to leverage tax credit dollars and to borrow the money from the banks. So what we have now is an application that we're submitting to HUD on all 4 developments, with 3 developments for demolition, disposition of those developments. Now, what I want to make sure you understand is that we're not talking about tearing those facilities down. That was an initial thought, because the needs were so great. We actually looked at a possibility of tearing those towers down. What we ran into is, we're responsible for relocating those individuals if we do that. We're responsible for relocating them, assisting them with finding some place to go, and also providing the finances to get them resettled. When we started looking at where those people could go in from the towers, we were not having a lot of luck in coming up with places for them to go. They pay rent where they are now, but they don't pay any utilities. So when we talked to the people that live in those towers, that was a great question for them. How are we going to get additional money to pay the utilities? On the tenant side. On the community side, nobody wants public housing built in their community. Therefore, we had to determine, how do we try to address the needs of the building and at the same time address the needs of the tenants? So this demolition disposition application will be for what we call extreme modernization. That still means that the cost is going to be as high as, what we have, I'm going to give you an example of Heritage Bowker. There are about $26 million worth of needs in the Heritage Bowker facilities. We're attempting to deal with about $18 million worth right now. That's a lot of money to put in old buildings that are going to remain standing. But if we're going to borrow the money and go in and try to bring these buildings up to code, take care of some of the issues, Mayor, that your office deal with on a regular basis with the elevators and the air conditions and all that, we need to take advantage of the funding while it's available, because we don't know when that funding is going to go away. So what caused, I think, the mayor's some concern is that in order to do this, we're applying for tax credits to leverage the money that we'll receive from banks. We also we'll apply for money for Federal Home Loan Bank funding, but the tax credits, what's called 4% tax credits, will be a big part of the money and the funding for these projects. Yeah, I'll answer any questions that you have.
No, I'm sorry I had to throw this at you all of a sudden.
That's okay.
But for both of you, council and Belinda both, but Debbie?
What facilities are you looking, you said Heritage and Bowker. Is this also Silver City Court?
Silver City Court is we're going to do demolition for real on Silver City Court. It actually will come down. So it will be demolished and then some new construction done there.
Okay. Now, Willow House, is Willow included in this?
Every tower is included.
Okay.
So Heritage House, Willow House, and Campus Towers will submit what they call a Section 18 application for demolition disposition. Now we're calling it demolition because it's extreme modernization. It's disposition because it will be sold to the partnership. You have to, there are certain ways that you have to construct these deals in order for the money to come in and come out. You have to create a corporation that's not the housing authority. But the housing authority is a partner in the corporation. And the rules are we have to continue to own and have an investment in those developments. One of the things that Mayor and I talked about is there is a third-party management company that will come in the first year and may stay anywhere from 3 to 5 years. That's a requirement because North Little Rock Housing Authority has not been involved in any tax credit projects. Therefore, HUD will not even allow us to go forward with a tax credit project unless there's somebody in that organization who has the expertise to make sure that those tax credits are protected. And as I discussed with Mayor Smith, the learning curve, there is no learning curve for this. If you mess up on the tax credit applications or the filings with the IRS or anything like that, it puts the tax credits at jeopardy. So a third-party company will come in and help us manage the property to make sure we get everything set up correctly, and then they'll train the housing authority staff.
This is very similar to what, 10 or 15 years ago, what the Argenta Community Development Corporation did. The tax credits aren't any good to us or to the housing authority, but a private investor comes in and takes advantage of the tax credits and can borrow the money. So probably we wouldn't even know it happened if we didn't have to have our approval. Now, this is just an application. And if the application has been approved, then they'll come back for us to approve the tax credits. Ms. Ross?
Are we still looking at Willow going back to be seniors only?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
Willow will go back to seniors only?
Yeah, that's been approved, so
Okay.
they are designated elderly only.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. White?
Is there are we any closer to a date for Silver City?
Yeah, well, we're trying to acquire property. In order for Silver City to work, we need another property we need to acquire another property. There is a snag with HUD on acquiring that property, but I believe from my communications with HUD last week, it looks like we're pretty close to getting that taken care of.
Can you explain that part again, acquiring another property?
Yeah, we needed to acquire another property. So the RAD program that I mentioned, the way that works is wherever your rents are today at Silver City, your rents stay there. You're not allowed to do market rate rents like we can do where there's a voucher program, a different voucher program. Well, those rents at Silver City will not leverage the debt service that we need to get that project going. So what we've done is looked at some other properties that are market rate rents that will help us to leverage the debt service for Silver City.
Ms. Robinson?
Is Hemlock Courts one of your properties?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So nothing will be done there?
Yes, ma'am. Hemlock Courts will also be a demolition, and the reason is You can't do the type of modernization that we're talking about at Hemlock because the rules have changed. It wouldn't pass environmental. So there will be a relocation. We will really have to work to find some place to relocate the Hemlock Courts development.
How many years down the way is that, Hemlock?
How many units?
Years. How many years?
We're submitting application within the next month for that. And so if we get these towers underway in Silver City by the first of next year, start some substantial construction by the first of next year, then later next year we'll start to take down Hemlock Courts.
What's the chances of us getting all of those requests approved?
Very high. Our whole portfolio was actually submitted at one time, and we got approved. We backed off of Eastgate and Hemlock because I think it scared HUD. It was so big, it scared our local HUD office. And so what we did, because we were having so many issues with the towers, we decided that to do it in phases and take the towers first.
Okay, great. That's good news. Mr. Baxter.
What can we look at annually for that third-party oversight?
Say it again.
What can we look at as an annual cost for that third-party oversight?
Oh.
Just a guess.
Yeah, probably 5% of the revenues for the site. And so,
Okay.
yeah, you'd have to see that spreadsheet, but about 5% of the revenues.
All right, thank you.
One quick question, and this is probably off topic, but I know at one time when Silver City, it's been, a couple of years now that we've been
Sure.
talking about
Or
taking
more.
Silver City, the demolish on it. We were looking at having the market rate also in there. So the market rate option is gone from Silver City, where I know that there was going to be a requirement that, you had to work and there was different things like that. So all of that's gone away now?
That's gone. It'll be completely rad now.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions of Ms. Snow? Linda, you're on top of things just like I knew you would be. Believe it or not, you guys, about 25 years ago, Belinda and Diane Whitby and I shared an office together. We had a lot of fun back in those days.
Awesome, yeah.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was.
Thank you, Belinda. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Before we go in, Mr. Bill Bush, if you're listening to us, could you come and make it a little bit cooler in here? I see all of our friends in the audience are fanning themselves, and I'm getting a little hot myself.
He actually did.
He did? Okay. All right. Fan away, girls.
He's back.
There he is right there.
Thank you, Bill. Okay, new business.
R-1709, Alderman Taylor.
Please call it. I thought that was part of the consent agenda.
No?
Okay, call
Did
it.
I have consent and I didn't know? Okay. Resolution reappointing commissioners of the North Cedar Street Improvement District Number 32 of North Little Rock.
So moved.
Second.
Questions on the motion?
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
And Witcher?
Yes.
R-1710, Mayor Smith.
Please call it.
Resolution approving an incentive recruiting plan for the hiring of experienced and certified police officers into the North Little Rock Police Department.
Move for adoption.
Second.
On the motion.
Ross?
Can you explain it real quick?
I can.
I mean, I know it is, but just for everyone else.
Chief, you want to come up? Chief and I talked about this several times, and I think it's a great idea, and we put numbers to it, and it works. So, Chief, tell us what we're doing.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. We're really encountering problems nationwide recruiting police officers. And we met with the mayor a few times, and kind of top priority for us. We don't want to get in a hole. We are 10 short right now. We're about to be a few more short. And it's difficult to hire. Our test before last, we had 205 apply. We had 89 that showed up, and we hired 7. This test, the last one, we had 110 that applied, 36 showed up to test. And I don't know how many we're going to be able to hire out of that. So through this incentive, we have the opportunity to hire from other departments around. There's a lot of officers that are around the state, and maybe other states for that matter, that would like the opportunity to come to North Little Rock. We have that conversation all the time, but with this incentive, if they have 5 years' experience, they would come in at pay at 5-year officer here. And for a lot of people, that is a pretty substantial raise. So we'd be very selective about what we're doing. Just because you've got 5 years or just because you've got 2 years doesn't mean you're going to get hired here. Our hiring standards are a little bit higher than some places, and we'll work short before we hire somebody that doesn't fit and will cause problems later, basically.
Yes, ma'am.
And also the 2-year, 2 and 5 years.
2 years, that's correct.
If they've
They
got
have
2
2
years
years,
experience,
and, we don't want somebody that's shopping, or, that's been to 5 different departments in 5 years, but if somebody's been someplace that, for 5 years or 7 years or whatever, and they're like, hey, I'd like the opportunity to come to a bigger city and that's more progressive in what we do and has more opportunities in what they have, and that's a selling point for us. There's a lot of people who want to come here because they can go to investigations. They can do a lot of different things that aren't available in other departments.
Ms. Robinson?
I'm just going to make a comment. There is a shortage nationwide, and I know that New Orleans, as well as Oklahoma City, are trying to put in incentives to recruit people. So there's a problem. So hopefully we'll be able to get some of those folks.
And the savings from this will really add up too as far as training. They won't have to go to the academy. They're already certified, and they won't have to ride with somebody the length of time and go through the length of training that they had before. So that it would allow us to get some people on the streets a lot quicker.
We're taking this issue very seriously, and we've met with HR, and they are increasing all of their number of tests that they're going to be offering every year, so that we don't end up, getting more than 10 or 15 behind.
And that's correct. And I have to really say, Ms. Anderson, from personnel, human resources, they have been fantastic. I mean, we met this morning, as a matter of fact, and if this would be approved, then on February 6th, you would actually be able to go online for the first time ever and actually apply online. And we would set up a test for you. They would be able to come in and take the test at Human Resources. They would know immediately if they passed or failed, and then we would do the PAT test, a physical fitness test, within a couple of weeks. So we're speeding this process up, and that's been an issue in the past. You take the test, and it's several months down the line, and we lost this last time. We lost 3 to other agencies because of the time delay. So thank you so much. I mean, it's already, we're seeing some changes in that. So, the mayor said, let's get aggressive, and that's what we're doing. And we're recruiting extra hard, too. I mean, we are going every chance we get, military, wherever it is, trying to recruit, and we're going to other colleges, and we'll go anywhere to sell our department.
Didn't we raise, what's the age limit now?
45.
Yeah, we raised that.
Yes, about 2 years ago.
So the time restraints and the incentive is the only really changes you're making in the hiring process.
And the online, too, is going to make a difference, we believe. Some people just will fill out the application and don't show up. And
online, yes,
and
right.
I think this is going to solve a lot of that. They go the effort online. We're going to tell them, go to personnel, take the test, and come to work. And so they're going to, if they're serious, they're going to come to work.
You said we're 10 short.
Yes, sir.
How many are we budgeted for?
186. I have 3 that are leaving this year that I know. That's not any sleepers out there. And then also the military, we have 4 that are going active duty for a year.
So we've tried to reach our quota on all that we're budgeted for, as far as, for years we were like 10 short, but we were budgeted for.
Right.
We were budgeted under budget, so.
And if we continue down this road and if we get lucky enough on this, if we end up, if I have to come back and ask for, a couple extra spots, because we're losing them pretty fast, and there's going to be more leaving in the years to come that kind of stepping up. Dallas is running into issues. They had 80 people leave in just a month. And so it's happening all over. Memphis is extremely short. We're hiring a police officer in Memphis that starts on February the 6th here. So he's wanting to get back home to his family.
And our average age of police officers is probably a little bit higher than most, so we're getting a lot of retirees. We're not getting people leaving because they're unhappy.
That's correct. I mean, the people that are leaving, Larry Mickle this year and David Smith, they've been here for 30 years.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, thank you, Chief. On the
Thank you.
motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
And Witcher?
Yes.
Ordinances 01703, Mayor Smith.
Please call it.
An ordinance amending the term length for trustees serving on the North Little Rock Library Commission, first reading.
Move to suspend all readings.
Second.
On the motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor? Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
And Witcher?
Yes. Move for adoption.
Question.
Question? How about a second?
Second.
Question?
This is to conform, Mr. Carter, isn't this to conform with state requirements?
Yes.
Thank you.
On the motion. Ms. Ross?
Are we going to have a reappointment for Esther Crawford coming up soon? Her term expired in
Yeah,
March.
and I didn't know
then-
she was
Yeah.
we can't run that place without Esther, so yeah, I'll certainly do that. If you'll prepare that legislation?
I'll do it.
Okay. On the motion.
On the motion to adopt, Ross?
Yes.
Yeah.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
And Witcher?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
And Witcher?
Yes.
01704, Mayor Smith.
Please call it.
An ordinance amending section 1.1.4 and city parks maps, or city parks map attachments of the North Little Rock Municipal Code, Chapter 10, Parks and Recreation, to include the addition of facilities at 140 South Olive Street, first reading.
Move to suspend all readings.
Second.
Second.
On the motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
And Witcher?
Yes.
How about a motion?
So
Move
moved.
for adoption.
Second.
Second.
On the motion.
Ross?
No, I have a question.
Question, I'm sorry.
Well, Chief Murphy can answer. Was the fire department still using this for the BuzzBQ, this building, recently?
No.
I didn't get to
No.
go to BuzzBQ last year, so I didn't know. Okay. Yes.
White?
Yes. Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
And Witcher?
Yes.
01705, Mayor Smith.
And let me go back to that just real quickly.
You got to go back anyway. I forgot the emergency clause.
All right, go ahead.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
And Witcher?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Hartwick, I discovered that he didn't have enough to do, and so I've added this to his plate. But he is going to take a bunch of his people that are a little bit slow this time of the year and do a lot of the work, and we can get this work. We've had it bid out. Well, actually, we didn't bid it. We got quotes on it, anywhere from $100,000 to $200,000, and so we were really confused on what we wanted to do. But Terry's going to be able to come in and get it done, we hope, a lot cheaper, a lot of internal labor, and I know he'll keep it full. And as the paper said this morning, he's going to pay it off in a year and a half, right?
Right.
There you go.
Right.
Any questions, Mr. Hartwick? That's a great location. There's good parking down there also, and a beautiful view of the skyline. So we encourage people to call Parks and get their name on the list.
Mayor, can we reserve the right to ask Mr. Hartwick questions at a later date?
No,
Absolutely.
no.
Okay, thank you, Terry.
Thank y'all.
Doing a
Appreciate
great
it.
job.
Thank you.
Okay.
01705, Mayor Smith.
Please call it.
An ordinance amending the non-uniformed employees policy and procedure manual, first reading.
Move to suspend the readings.
Second. On the motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
And Witcher?
Yes.
How about a motion?
So moved.
Second.
On the motion.
On the motion to adopt, Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
And Witcher?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
And Witcher?
Yes.
01706, Mayor Smith.
Please call it.
An ordinance to reclassify property located at 4500 North Hills Boulevard in the city of North Little Rock from R4 to Planned Use Development PUD to allow offices and indoor storage units by amending ordinance number 7697, adopting an amended land use plan for the subject property, first reading.
Move to suspend the readings.
Second.
On the motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
And Witcher?
Yes.
Let's talk about this just for a minute. I had some second thoughts about this at one point in time until I heard from Mr. Marler that the neighbors had already met and had talked about it. So I didn't have time today, Ward 1 Alderman, to talk to you guys, so give me your opinions.
I'll be happy to, and I have to say the developer, that he did a great job. They contacted all the neighbors along Fairway, and there were neighbors from both sides of Fairways, not just the ones that backed up to the current church, and had a great presentation. They were very thoughtful with anything that the neighbors, suggestion as far as a masonry wall to keep any lights from coming into their house. The neighbors, there was no opposition from the neighbors, which I was surprised, but this property's zoned R4 right now, which, to the neighbors, this is a much more, I guess, neighborhood friendly than having an apartment complex that would be there 24/7, because the business closes at 10 o'clock, so nobody be out there at 10 o'clock. It's completely gated, it's all coded. The owner's here, if anybody has any questions about that. I know that for consideration only usually throws up a flag that the aldermen don't want to sponsor it. That wasn't my case, I can't speak for Alderman White, but at the time, we didn't know if there would be more neighbors that would call in opposition, and we never had any opposition at all.
Okay, is it my understanding that the storage facilities will be new and the current church building is going to be used as offices? Is that right, Mike?
Mayor, I'm Mike Marler with Marler Engineers. This is Michael Hall, the developer of the property, and I'll let Michael respond to that question.
Yes, that is correct. The self-storage offices, or the self-storage buildings are all new construction. The office space is repurposing of the church.
Okay. And are you going to use the entire church itself, or are you going to rent out office space inside?
Office suites, yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Ms. White?
My hesitancy to sponsor it was the same thing, just in case some other residents came up or some issues came up we couldn't anticipate. But I want to say this is one of the best, most thorough presentations I've seen by a group that came in and really attended the needs of the neighbors. And
what do you expect? Look who their engineer is, right, Mike?
They did a really good job.
All right. Now we're approving this as a PUD. All right, do they have to come back, or is everything they've already presented in the package? And Sean's walking up. Do you know, counsel?
Well, I mean, the primary thing would be if there were any changes to the plan unit development.
They've presented the full plans, so we've got elevations, footprints, and everything for the whole site, landscaping and everything, so they will not have to come back unless there's a major change to the project.
And everybody's seen those plans? Mr. Height?
Well, I'm just going to kind of chime in with everybody else. As mayor, as you know, I called you last week and got you out of one of the inaugural events up there in Washington, and we had a short discussion about this. And I happened to sit with a couple of the residents, or saw one of the residents Saturday morning and talked to another one of the residents of Fairway Sunday, and everybody confirmed that the community had a meeting and everybody over there is 100% behind this. And so after first thinking, wow, we're having a warehouse in the middle of Lakewood, we ain't having that. But I've come around that I'm excited about this for Lakewood.
Thank you.
And I double-checked with Sean today to make sure that this wasn't an area that a copy sign could go in if someday that was a thought, and that this area.
This is not an electronic changeable copy overlay district.
Right, because next door, Walgreens.
Walgreens is in a district. Right. This property is not.
Ms. Ross?
One thing, I can't say that all the residents are 100%. We didn't hear from the 100%, but all of the ones that did, they were notified of the meeting. The alderman, we were invited to a meeting to come look at some plans too at one time. So I don't know about 100%, but what we heard from is what we had. And my first knee-jerk reaction too, when mini storage there, but when you see the plans, what is the cost of this project? Is it $5 to $7 million? $5
to $7 million.
$5 to $7 million project. So it's not some, small project. It'll be a large project.
Okay, good. We hope that you'll be a good neighbor, Mr. Hall. We appreciate you investing in our community. Where were I on the motion?
Thank you.
Need a motion.
How about a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Second.
On the motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
And Witcher?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
And Witcher?
Yes.
01707, Alderman Baxter.
Please call that, and with the council's consent, I'd like to add Alderman Harris as a co-sponsor, please.
Okay? No objection, go ahead.
Okay. An ordinance reclassifying property located at 3921 Pike Avenue in the city of North Little Rock from R3 to C4 classification by amending ordinance number 7697 of the city of North Little Rock, adopting an amended land use plan for the subject property, first reading.
Move to suspend the readings.
About a second.
Second.
On the motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
And Witcher?
Yes.
Move for adoption.
About a second.
Second.
Questions? Ms. Ross?
I was at planning when this was brought up, and I know that there was one neighbor that had some questions concerning this. Was that all? I just want to know if that was all addressed and taken care of.
As far as I know, I have not been asked any questions by any of the neighbors, so.
Okay. I know that
John, do you know?
I know that he was at the meeting.
His answers were, he got answers at the meeting, he was happy at the
Okay.
meeting.
Okay,
So
and-
but he just was wanting to know what was going on.
Okay, and I guess that's my question. What are they planning? Because this is encroaching into the neighborhood. You know, in a C4, you can put in a liquor store, whatever you want. So that's what I'm just curious.
He's not planning, he wants to leave it just as it is. What's going on there is this is the street there, 39th Street, is a planned street and drainage improvement project through the North Little Rock Community Development Agency. Because of the project, the city has to purchase some right-of-way from this property owner. And in order to do that, we needed to replat his property. And his front lot faces Pike Avenue, and it's a commercial lot. And he wanted the back lot to be platted with the front lot, all as one lot. And therefore, we needed to rezone the back lot to the same commercial zoning as the front lot. He has no plan to make any improvements or any changes.
The
property.
residential was an improper zoning for years. I mean, Brant Brothers been there
That's right.
for, I don't remember, 20 years, ever since George
Least.
Brown died, I think, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Ms. Ross?
I'm just curious, will the city have to purchase the easements along there then, after it's replatted? Is that what you said?
No, he does not purchase them.
No, I said, did you say the city would have to purchase those easements? I guess I was confused on,
Community development.
Community development.
Community Development Agency.
would have to.
Yes.
Do you get more if it's a C4 as opposed to an R3? For your easement, if they purchase the purchase price, is it more for a C4 than it is for an R3?
The community, I don't know what the purchase price for the easement is. I haven't negotiated it. so-
Well,
What I understand,
I'm just curious.
The price
spent
was negotiated
months.
beforehand.
It's already been
Yes,
negotiated?
yes.
Okay, all right.
we spent months on that.
Purchase it.
Because it was just, it was so weird, because part of the right-of-way was R4, and part of it was C3, and we were comparing it against a vacant lot cost, 5 blocks away, and we got legal involved in it, and literally, we've been working on it for 3 months, I would say.
I didn't hear. So when we purchased the easement, we purchased it at the R3 price?
I don't think we've purchased it
I
yet.
don't know what price we
It was
purchased
just
it.
purchased. It didn't really, in this case, it didn't really matter. They were just purchasing it. And part of the deal is the rezoning is built into the process.
So basically, the rezoning is just to clean everything up.
Yes, we had to clean it up to facilitate the whole process. And they're actually, it's not purchasing the easement, they're purchasing property. So the right-of-way has gotten wider in that area right there.
Mr. Baxter?
This is a project that former Alderman Fauch and I have been working on for several years with Melissa down at CDBG, and it seems like every time we get close to getting everything squared away and beginning the process of actually doing some work, something else comes up, and this is just one of those wrinkles, those waves that we've come across, and this is how we're addressing it. Same with the next one. This is all part of what we found administratively, more or less, I guess you could say, as we've taken the steps to complete this project, or to start the project.
On the motion.
On the motion to adopt, Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
And Witcher?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
And Witcher?
Yes.
01708, Alderman Baxter.
Please call it, and once again, I'd ask that the council add, without objection, add Alderman Harris as co-sponsor, please.
Seeing none, be fine.
An ordinance approving a waiver request of the buffer requirements for property located at on West 39th Street, northwest of its intersection with Pike Avenue in the city of North Little Rock. First reading.
Move to suspend the readings.
Second.
On the motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
And Witcher?
Yes.
Move for adoption.
Second.
On the motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
And Witcher?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris? Height?
Yes.
And Witcher?
Yes.
Concludes new business.
Mayor, have you noticed an increased activity by Marlar Engineering this year in 2017? Or is it just me?
I think he's got a development officer now that's helping him recruit business. Thank you, Mike.
Oh, Mr. Marler's there. Or we're out of, this is
Say
out
that
of
again?
line. I know this is out of line, but I was just wondering if he could just give us an update on the East McCain grade
Yeah.
separation, Fairfax Bridge,
good
whatever.
idea.
So,
Be glad to. I'm happy to say that project is ahead of schedule. The actual contract time on that project is scheduled for completion in December of this year. Right now, the contractor estimates that he'll be complete with the project in June or July of this year, so he's about 6 months ahead of schedule, thanks to a lot of things, but in part to good weather. So if you have time, go out and take a look. The retaining walls on each side of the approaches to the bridge basically are complete. You can see what that's going to look like. The next item that we're looking at, and I'll talk to you about this later, but we've discussed it a little bit, is adding some decorative lights to the bridge, and I'll bring that to y'all a little bit later on, here in the near future.
Yeah, let's don't miss that, because one of us is going to be in big trouble if we don't try to figure that out, and I'm going to throw you under the bus, so.
That's going to happen sooner rather than later, and I'm talking about within the next few weeks.
We have been patiently awaiting. While we're thank you, Mike. Let me give you just a wee bit of an update. As most of you know, I spend once a month. We have a I-30 crossing meeting, and we're getting closer. Probably a year and a half behind schedule from where we were 2 years ago when we started this thing. But I don't want to bore you with the details, but one thing that popped up today, we're getting this far along in the design, is the overpasses and issues like that. Anything over and above a standard Department of Transportation overpass, if we want it, we're going to have to pay for it. And I feel certain that we're going to want some of this stuff. I'm going to appoint a aesthetics committee that's going to help us look at this and get their opinions. Our committee that we have right now that's on that visual committee is not really who I would choose, nothing against any of them, but I don't know that I want Budgie Glover telling me how he wants something to look. So I'm going to try to hand pick some people that have got some design and some experience in that to kind of coach us so that we can see if we want to pay the price for the overpass there at Broadway and 15th Street. So, Ms. Scott, probably you might put in your little tickle file that I would like to try to start finding a way to set aside some money in the next 2-year budgets in 2018 and 2019 so that we can look at those and maybe possibly be able to pay for the upgrades, because that upgrade will probably be due in 2020. And I just feel certain from looking at the different options, if nothing else, at least Broadway. And another upgrade that they had that I really liked today that I saw was lighting of the underneath of the underpass. really makes a lot of difference, and I really think it says hello and welcome. So we'll present all those different options to you and what the costs are going to be, but we've got to get far enough in front of the design team with our desires so that they can design different types of what even the ceiling of the underpass is going to look like. Ms. Ross?
Will this just be a matching, like the Fairfax is, it's a 20% match? So would the
No.
lighting, so it wouldn't be included in that project?
Right.
Okay.
It would be, if it's cost $500,000 more, then we got to write a check. And Little Rock's the same way, and they're separate. So if we want something on our side of the river, it has nothing to do with what Little Rock wants. So we get to pick our own colors, design, lighting, railing, and the whole bit. I would like to at least put some nice railing over that overpass on Broadway and some nice lights right there. I saw it in Kansas City and really thought that it really stood up and said it's pretty classy.
I saw, Mayor,
Yes.
have you got any up-to-date secret information about the Broadway Bridge? Got 2 months to go roughly. I just wondered.
Chris told me 2 weeks ago that the Broadway Bridge would be open and beat the deadline and with some.
Yeah.
And I was over in Little Rock yesterday, and they've already poured the concrete on the Harp exit. So it's getting closer, more and more close. Ms. Ross?
One thing I'd just like to say too, I know you said Broadway, but I'd like to see continuity. When you hit Bentonville, Springdale, Rogers, they've made an agreement to make it all, one look as you're going down the interstate. So, with North Little Rock, if we're going to do Broadway, I'd like to do 15th, and maybe any future projects we do, tie those together so that you're in North Little Rock when you see those lights. Those are North Little Rock lights. And so this is something that may be a good time before we, pick out exactly what we're going to do on the Fairfax Bridge so that we would know that we're all on the same page and be continuous in North Little Rock.
I talked to the engineers today, and they are going to present us with the different proposals, and I'll put a committee together, and if you'd like to serve on that committee, I'd love to have you. And anybody else on the council.
One other thing, the MacArthur Bridge, there's that being, will there be lights on this? There's another opportunity right there to make that all,
That's a highway department project.
Right.
We're not participating in that, so
But we could add.
They do the bare minimums.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, we're in the public comment section. Let me put my glasses on here. Okay, Courtney Nixon, come to the microphone, and remember that we have 3 minutes.
Hi, I'm here to speak about the BSL legislature. A dog named Gambit was euthanized because he was a pit bull, supposedly mixed. BSL works to an extent, that's true. Dog bites and maulings go down, but if we ban the aggressive breeds, shouldn't all the bites and maulings cease to exist? Municipal Code, Chapter 10, Animals, Articles 2, Dogs, Division 1, generally Sections 10 through 46, state that Staffordshire Terriers, American Pit Bull Shire Terriers, and American Bulldogs and mixes of those breeds are as aggressive. The problem is that these breeds and mixes of these breeds are a lot like other breeds and mixes of those breeds. ACOs are the deciding factor in this. They are trained to fall back on, if it looks like a pit, it is a pit. They describe these dogs as muscular, block-headed, and big-chested. They just described Rottweilers, Great Danes, Mastiffs, and English Lab, which I own one from North Rock Animal Shelter. Any Bulldog and Boxer mixes. This case of Gambit is a case of a mistaken identity. When North Rock Shelter surgical vet said that the dog in question has no pit in it and also would give a statement, this proves my point that ACOs cannot properly identify a pit bull. The deceased dog in question was murdered simply because he thought was a pit bull. Frankly, I'm tired of racism, which is judging a book by its cover. This is exactly what this case is. Does North Rock Animal Shelter get kickbacks for putting down a number certain of dogs? And if so, then they can say any dog looks like a pit bull. So please, what can we change? Can we change the BSL laws? Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Cindy Tolan.
First, I would like to thank y'all for this opportunity to come before y'all and just talk to you about Gambit. Gambit was a dog that I had adopted a while ago. He is a red heeler mix, and he was picked up by the North Animal Control for a violation of being a banned breed, which even after being neutered by the animal control vet office that they contract with, that they sent him to get neutered, that vet themselves said that Gambit did not have pit in him, and he would even give me a written statement for such for the court date that I had set. Unfortunately, a second violation occurred, and I went and I signed my citation, and I had my court date set for February the 9th. The very next day, the animal control shelter put my dog down by mistake, they said. And this kind of thing does not need to happen at all just because of the laws that we have here in this city. I know that Little Rock has been able to adopt them out and even give the owners a chance to keep them in if certain requirements are met, insurance and housing and registration. Even Sherwood has not had to put down a dog in, I don't know, in a couple of years when I spoke to them is what they said. But in North Little Rock, Animal Control seems to just be able to drag a dog to that place and do this without even the levels of approval that they are supposed to have. There's supposed to be 3 levels, and only 2 were met. And I know there's a disciplinary action review board reviewing why that was done that way, but just to make sure this doesn't even happen again, we can do something to save these innocent animals, because he was a good dog. I can bring you witnesses and witnesses and witnesses. Even the people who met him one time were amazed at his charismatic personality. He was full of love, and he was full of light, and he was so playful, and he was so happy. And to know that his last hours were alone and scared, and they didn't have to be, is my point. He didn't have to be put down. I know it was a mistake, but even these dogs that aren't reclaimed, that don't have someone to speak for them, don't have a family fighting for them, they need a voice, because their lives don't need to be taken from them, and they need to be given that opportunity to given a lovely home. And I just want to know why we can't adopt the same ordinances that Little Rock has, that Sherwood has. I mean, Little Rock is our capital city. Can we not follow their example? It seems to be working for them. They adopt them out, then find them loving homes. Don't just give them to anybody. They really coordinate with these people who adopt them and follow up and make sure that they are rabies vaccinated and registered and insurance is bought. And can we please do that here? Can we please honor my dog, my boy, and just make sure that no other innocent animal has to go through this, or another person has to go through this, because it breaks my heart to think about his last moments, and he didn't deserve that, and he was supposed to be given a chance. I had my court date set, and a mistake was made that should not have been made, and if we can change those ordinances, that wouldn't even have been an option. He would still be here, and I could still fight for him and get him back. And I just am pleading with y'all to please reconsider these BSL laws that we have in North Little Rock, just to amend them like we do with Little Rock and Sherwood. That's all I want, is just to amend it, just to give them a chance and not a death sentence.
Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you very, very much.
Claudia Gravitt, how are you? I'm fine. How are you? Good, thank you.
Pleasure to be here this evening, and I really appreciate being allowed to speak. On behalf of my niece, I'm Claudia Toland Gravitt. I own an apartment complex in North Little Rock. It is adjacent to where Cindy Toland lives. I'm familiar with this animal, never a more loving animal than Gambit. I know it was a mistake, but I think as a result of this mistake, I think that changes, we should be agents of change when we see mistakes that are made. And I plead to you that whatever changes that you feel would be appropriate to see that this does not happen again would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much.
You bet. I assure you we're looking into how that mistake happened and make sure it won't happen again. Jimmy Ard.
sorry I'm slow about getting up here. Miss Whitney, if I heard correctly, you get to make the choice of how we sign in.
And I've made it. You have to
And
come
I'm
here and sign
handicapped,
in.
remember?
You have to come here and sign in.
I told you I probably could get there every morning. Beside the point. Mayor, I suggested to Julie in your office, and I don't know if she said time to talk to you, that y'all use your computer knowledge, that when they really change something up, and I'm sure there's other ways I could have found out, but it's hard for me to read the newspaper, that when you change garbage pickup day, you can call us and leave us a text on our cell phone. Now, there's other ways to do it, like put it in bills and stuff. That costs y'all money. So I want you to consider putting stuff, sending it to people's cell phone if we sign up for it. I think it would help us all. Also, I want to brag on North Rock Electric. When you call them and they give you a time they'll be there, they're usually there within 30 minutes. Not like Energy does and waits 2 or 3 days to get out there. Even Murray couldn't help us. Also, something I think is very important, when you see a policeman have someone pull over with all the stuff that's going on this day and time, try to observe something about that car. If you can, get the license number, because you never know what someone's going to pull on them this day and time. And it would be very helpful. It doesn't take that much to make some notes. I carry a tape recorder in my truck so I can make the notes while I drive. But our policemen are very fortunate we hadn't had some major stuff here. Okay, last thing to say. There's a commercial on TV that says, "Oh, by the way, Mom, hi." Well, I got one I want to say tonight. "Oh, by the way, Victoria Leach, would you please pay me the money you owe me so I can buy my medicine for my heart?"
You're out of order, Jimmy. Thank you. Bobby Taylor.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. My name is Bobby Taylor. Mayor, I want to thank 4 departments in the city of North Little Rock. The police department, the fire department, the code enforcement, and sanitation, and y'all as well. I know where I am with this group, and I wouldn't want to think where I would be without them. But tonight I have a slight problem that I want you to help me with. Been talking about cleaning up the city of North Little Rock and Rose City. Broadway looks 75% better than it did last time I talked to you. There's still some brush on the England Highway where Campbell Road comes out. It's been there for almost 2 months. It's not been touched. I don't know what the problem is. That's what I want to find out. And I know when the city of North Little Rock put this sweep out about 4 months ago, about the recycle bins and the trash cans would be put out on a certain date. They would be picked up and put back where they're supposed to be, or they'd be picked up. Some of that has happened. But tonight I'm not too pleased with the leaf deal. I don't know what the problem is. Some of them was picked up to a certain extent. I've seen there's some limbs and maybe some trash in there, and I understand why that hadn't been picked up. But why ain't that been tagged? And maybe it has been tagged. I don't know. I just want to find out. And the street sweeper, he's just a hit and a miss. Rose City means a lot to me. And if that leaf truck or the sanitation truck picking up with a bucket, if he works on Saturday, I'll donate you 2 days of my time to rake up that stuff after he picks it up, to finish cleaning it up. Just to show you what Rose City means to me. And there ain't too many people in here any older than I am. I can crawl in out of that truck and drag a shovel or a broom as good as anybody else does. And Rose City means a lot to me. And I got friends in all of these departments. And I appreciate every one of them. Mayor, I'll thank you if you can help me. fine, just can't, just let me know.
Yeah, give
Or
Danny
I don't know
the.
what the problem
Give
is.
Danny those addresses. I mean, you know, we run into this issue.
Sir?
We run into this issue with leaf season every year, and
Yeah.
we just have to struggle with it, so.
Well, they getting some of them, like down there on Prothos where this place is, where the leaves is piled up. There's a little bit of brush in it, but that'll be there for ain't no telling how long. And some of this stuff, these mattresses and stuff are put out, garbage is just thrown out. It's left sometimes all week and not even picked up.
Yep.
Some of it's put behind telephone poles where the truck can't get to it. They'll park a car out there where the truck can't get to it.
Give me an address.
That stuff can be addressed.
Give me an address. We'll get our code officer out there.
Yeah.
Okay. And that weekend that you're gonna jump on and off that truck, I think it'd be only appropriate that we ask the godfather of the city council, Mr. Witcher, to go out there and help you, because I know he can jump on and off that truck.
I love Rose City.
I appreciate you.
All right, Bobby, thank you. Any council members have anything for the good of the order? Sure.
Wanted to know, because I don't really know how to go about inciting change the best way anyways, and I was wanting to know if there's something I can do additionally to get these ordinances amended, like gathering of signatures. I mean, I'm not going to let this go for my boy. I promised him I was coming back for him, and I wasn't able to do that, and I promised him again that I was going to do what I can to make sure that this can't happen again. So will the gathering of signatures help with this? I mean, I will do it till I'm blue in the face.
I'll try to give you as much political advice as I possibly can. It takes somebody on this council to sponsor any legislation. So you're going to have to get at least one person up here to get with you and understand and agree with your changes. And then it would be presented to the council as whole, and then either your sponsor or yourself and your supporters would have to lobby, if you will, these people that
Additional council
that
members.
do the vote. Yeah, they all make the decisions.
Okay.
And so, I mean, we'll coach you as best we can, and if you can get somebody to be your sponsor, then we'll try to help you.
Okay, and in order to do that, I mean, is there like an email addresses that I can at least stay in contact and try and?
If you'll go online on our website. you'll have the-
Everybody's email
you'll have
address
the-
is available,
You'll
okay.
have the phone numbers, emails of everybody up here.
Okay, thank you all so very much.
Okay, thank you. How about a motion?
Second.
On a motion.